time to shuffle up. With Duncan, Jeff, and Sloan, let's fill our cups. Commander decks in hand, the battle's about to start. A podcast for the legends, where magic meets the heart. Commander's Pod, where the stories unfold. With heroes and villains, new and old. Duncan, Jeff, and Sloan guide the way. In the world of EDH we play.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Commander's Pod. Once again, we want to thank you for joining us. My name's Duncan.
I'm Sloan.
I'm Jeff.
And today is Santa's End Step. It's the day after Christmas, which we are claiming for Magic as Santa's End Step. Just kind of a cleanup type of thing, talking about the holidays and what we're going to do for each other. But we'll talk about when we got together for our Christmas, you know, the games we got to play then.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the One Ring. Recently banned in Modern, prices dropping. We'll talk about that. We're gonna hear about Jeff's triggers and pro tips, and we'll just talk about some stuff.
Yeah.
So let's talk about our games at Jeff's. That was fun.
Yeah, we got together and did a little podcast Christmas with our families over at Jeff's house. He very kindly hosted and had dinner. Got to give some gifts to our kids, watch them have fun opening them and enjoying them. Right. Which was super fun. And then the most important part, besides the food and the company and the fellowship, was playing Magic and murdering each other in a game.
Yes.
Yeah, as where'd the families go? They went to go see some white
Live nativity in, I think, Sarasota.
Yeah, so that was pretty good.
Yeah. So very cool.
Which, just to tell you how wrapped up I was in the game, it didn't seem like they went that far away. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, it's just down the road. They came right back.
Yeah, no, they were gone for like almost an hour and a half, I think.
How many games did we get in?
I think we got 5 in. And then on top of that, like all of our families came back. We're like, all right, I guess our fun's over, guys. Had a great time. And our wives were like, no, keep playing. We're watching a show.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That was the best part.
The amount of times that's happened, I'm sure we could count on one in. One finger.
Yeah, just right there. There it is.
Yeah.
So that
was a good early Christmas present.
Yeah, I mean, and it kind of goes to show, like, we definitely need to have our wives hang out together more, because that means we get to hang out together more.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I don't want to do that.
But we had some good games. But once again, and I can't help it, I can't focus enough on Jeff when he has nothing. Like, you're doing stuff, so I have to interact with you. And Jeff's just like back there whistling, like, don't pay attention.
In my defense, the deck that I played the first couple of games with is the new Indoraptor deck that I'm trying to put together and kind of figure out. It's definitely on the weaker side. I definitely need to tune it up. But I don't know why you were focusing me so hard, because everything else,
because he didn't have anything.
Guys, you did destroy my stuff.
I mean, I did.
Yeah, you guys did target me in many of the games, but I didn't put the stuff out that I wanted you to destroy.
Right. Well, you guys want us to destroy anything.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's okay with some of it.
But yeah, I mean, we did. So I did Interrupter a couple of times, and then I can't remember what the other ones were. I played your Wolverine deck a couple of times.
Yeah.
That deck is crazy.
You played your Turtle deck? Oh, no, you didn't.
No, I intentionally didn't play.
You played one of them, I feel like.
I did play one other one. I think I played the Go deck.
No,
it wasn't that one.
But regardless,
it was
Jeff
a strong
Ring of the Fire.
I remember it was a strong deck.
You won one, and I won one.
Yeah, I got one. Oh, it was Assassins, because I always for somehow sneak a win with Assassins.
Yeah.
It was Assassins. That's what I played. I remember now. But yeah, so we got to play and spend time with each other and spend time with our families, and it was super fun. It was a great time for sure.
Yeah,
had a lot of fun that night, and
Jeff played Magic. That's like twice in a month.
I know, twice within 1 month. I mean,
that's amazing.
Well, to be fair, it's tends to be a less busy time of year. Just that this year was a little crazy with the hurricane.
I don't think that's true. I feel busier at Christmas time.
Right, but for the business.
Business, yes.
Which takes up a lot of my time, yeah.
Right, yeah. Maybe. But it was a lot of fun. We had some good games.
Yeah.
Jeff, any memorable moments from those games for you?
Yeah, there were a lot of really awesome moments.
So pretty much 3 wins specifically.
Yeah, 3 wins was fun.
In a row, too.
Yeah, I don't know how many games we played, but it was a lot. It was about 5.
I want to say it was 5.
I didn't get to play all the decks that I have fun playing. I feel like I played one deck Oh, I played Edgar Markov.
Yeah, it's just
That shouldn't even be counted because he won within like 2 minutes and we just gave up. That was like round 3 and he had like 12 vampires.
But I don't play Edgar Markov that often.
No, but you just puzzle dungeons with it once and put it away.
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably should have played more powerful decks when he played that.
I can tell you it wasn't just, I wasn't,
you should have played down.
I played the deck I'm working on, which is my Avengers deck.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm using Aragorn the United, and I'm going to get a proxy of him as Nick Fury.
okay. That's so awesome.
Yeah, no, it works pretty good. It works good. The problem is, I almost always only end up with him and maybe one other hero. I don't know. I don't want to put a lot of tutors in there because I'm becoming...
No, but with Edgar Markov, I did sit back and wait.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I just really
Because you don't have to.
I couldn't remember that way you were going for the Rose Factory.
Right, yeah, you just murder everybody within 10 seconds. You don't have to wait with him because literally you get the benefits from the command zone, which is why the part they do it.
Evidence is a broken mechanic.
100%.
Yeah. I mean,
But there are many broken.
I feel like those, then they tried to redo it, what was it, this year or last year, and it was like so weak. They put out these weak evidence, like 2 of them, and they were just stupid. Like nobody cared about the abilities.
Yeah,
There should be a middle ground.
Yeah, there is.
You know, something about, scry is a mechanic that isn't super...
I don't know. If you put it in as eminence in the command zone, that's pretty good.
Well, but you have to, like, you can limit it to like once a turn. Like when you cast this creature...
When you cast a creature spell...
that shares a creature type with your commander. Like, for example, Edgar Markov one. If instead of him creating another... Every single time you cast a vampire, you get a vampire...
What do you think about the first
To be fair, guys, I beat you with only playing 1 creature each turn.
Which is technically 2.
Yeah, but if you limit to 1 a turn, it doesn't change, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, but when you were done with your 6 turns, you had 12 vampires, and him and I had like 1 or 2 creatures each.
Well, but that's why I'm saying, like, if he's in the command zone and you cast a vampire or a creature that shares a creature type with him, you get to scry and it only happens once a turn. But when he's on the battlefield, you get to create a vampire.
I mean,
that balances, because that forces you to have to play it to get the better benefit.
They could do something like that. But did we have any interactions you guys wanted to talk about that happened in this?
Well, so you liked the... we'll get to that in a minute, but there was not really a rule, but kind of it is a rule, I guess.
Yeah, clarification.
Yeah, so we'll get to it.
Didn't we have
we had some good interactions.
We were supposed to take notes. But we didn't do it.
We were just purely interested in fun.
Yeah.
we were trying to play so hard, like it was like we're like all spending time together. Like there was a moment where I was kind of looked at each other, like, oh,
and I felt bad.
Now we can play Magic. Like, is this now?
I felt bad for my boys because my boys really wanted to play,
right?
But the wives wanted all the kids together, so they made the boys go with them,
right?
But they had a good time. They had a good time, but
they had fun playing.
But they wanted to come back and play. And we're like, no, the dads are going to play.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, we there was a couple of interesting interactions. So Indoraptor has a weird mechanic with his enrage, and like I kept announcing it the first couple of times.
Oh yeah,
but then like I just assumed that they remembered what it did, so I didn't keep announcing it. And at the end of the game, when they're like, "Wait a minute, we could sacrifice a creature instead of taking the damage," I was like, "Yeah, I kept saying that." So
and you did.
Yeah, and then I because I figured they knew it.
Just so people know, when you have a trigger, you must announce the full trigger. You can't just...
Yeah, he just went up way left. Oh, I got it.
Well, because I kept saying it, and then like they just kept taking the damage, and I was like, okay, I guess they're just gonna keep getting... I was like, all right, I have a trigger, and you're like, okay, I'll take the damage. I'm like...
So when you first said it, we only had one.
And I had Reese the Redeemed, who was under a
Dark Steel mutation.
Yeah, indestructible, so I couldn't get rid of it. But as it turns out, I could have got rid of it at the beginning of the game. It just chose to sacrifice them instead of taking the damage. So it didn't make a...
So, and there was that one round when you were playing Reese that I shut it down.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a good interaction.
I did the crib swap with who was it you had that was so gross?
Oh, the Avengers Undercar.
No,
it was
didn't you crib swap in?
It was one that was laying. It was the one that was laying me. No, not tap for all the mana.
You didn't have Mother of Machines out or something. No, it was the token.
Ajir, the one who triples.
The token triple.
Yeah.
So I crib swapped him, and that's why Darksteel Mutation Reese, and just shut it down. But then he plays Avenger and Zendikar.
Correct. Yeah.
And it's like, oh.
Yeah.
But then the funny thing was with that game that was pretty cool was, so he lignified one of Jeff's creatures. Jeff then got that creature to die. He put lignified Duncan's grave. Then he played Sun Titan, got lignified back, and lignified another creature.
But I still wasn't.
It was Sun Titan. That was when I was playing the 20 Ways to Win deck from the Secret.
Yes.
And yeah, the shrine for that, you pay Wooburg, tap it, and you retrieve target enchantment from your graveyard to the battle.
Oh, that's right. That's
rid of it.
And I even looked at your graveyard, but for some reason it didn't occur to me that the single target removal was an enchantment. Because sometimes you think of enchantments like things on your side. You for some reason I was thinking of Lignify as an instant or a sorcery,
right?
And it didn't occur to me it's actually an enchantment.
Yeah, enchantment or on target,
which that was rough.
Yeah.
But you have to have lots of answers. Like if they take out your commander and you've built a deck where you're in Reese Redeem, the commander is important, right? Because you like double tokens and stuff. You have to have other ways to win. And if you can do that, if you can build other ways to win to still do the same thing you're doing, for instance, Avenger of Zendikar is a really good.
Well, and I did eventually shut down Avenger of Zendikar, so you didn't keep getting like counters,
right?
But I only had 4 counters. But I was working alone because you don't hear that Johnny did it.
That's not true. I cast a couple of fogs to save us a couple of times.
That's true. 1 fog. You cast 1.
You cast a fog and Sun Creator of Behemoth.
That was huge.
I did that, and I did another one because remember I made it so your creature did the damage and none of his did. So I cast 2 that game.
Yep, that's true. Was that the same game?
Yeah, it was the same game.
Okay.
I did 2 that game. Yeah.
Then you guys still lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like when you create 700 creatures. It's really hard to deal with it.
It was only 12 plants that he beat on some of that had left over and over. And what's funny is he didn't attack us for like 5 rounds.
Yeah, like this game could have been over a while ago. Like, why are you not just swinging?
And even when they were 12 1-2s.
So the thing of when you hold back and you do the like full strike and just come out of nowhere, unfortunately that mentality can catch you off guard when you shouldn't always do that.
Yeah.
Like, so you guys are 100% right. I should have been attacking, but I do tend to have that mentality where I don't really show I don't show what I'm planning to do till I do it.
Right.
But that didn't work against me in that.
Right. Because the thing was, and unfortunately, again, I was playing my Interrupter deck, so I don't have a lot of board wipe answers in there, which is something I need to increase. But if either one of us would have drawn a board wipe, it would have set Jeff back to the Stone Ages. Because he had, like, at that point, he had Vorinclex, Avengers Zendikar, Reese the Redeemer. Like, he had so many, and then he had all the tokens on top of that out. Yeah. So, like, if we would have had one board wipe, it would have been, like, just a full reset, and me and Duncan would have lost a couple things. Jeff would have lost, I think, like, 20 creatures at that point.
But still have cards in hand. Draw cards.
Yes, so.
They board wipe, and you just do it again.
But I think at the end of the game when you won, you only had, like, 1 or 2 cards in hand. Like, you were pretty...
Yeah, I had these... Well, because you guys are really trying hard.
Oh, yeah.
Which was... Yeah. That was hard.
But when you have... Just the 12 plants that by the time I got rid of the Avenger had 4 counters on it.
Yeah, they were big. They were trading.
And I had that as a planeswalker that made everybody stronger too than the other.
Yeah,
I do that also. I need stuff that I can pay all my mana into to make everything bigger, and that's ultimately one. And then we played another game, and I don't know if it was with Reese again, but didn't I have like 2,000 tokens or something ridiculous?
You did Swarm.
Well, my land,
but you didn't.
But I lost that game. Yeah, but I think I had like 2,000. That was
it was ridiculous.
So in that game, Johnny was counting the scoots as Duncan and I are trying to count the triggers because it was ridiculous. I still lost, but it was fun to do.
Well, what's funny is you lost. I think that's the game I won with Mael's Aria. Where
no, it was the game I won. That was my Assassin's game. Because what happened was, I remember specifically what happened was, he was trying to decide between us who to kill. Because the issue was, he knew whoever he killed, there's a good chance that one of us had an answer, and you had a better board state. I only had 3 assassins out.
Right.
That was it. And so he's like, okay, well, I think I'm going to kill Duncan. I'm going to take my chances. Well, one of the assassins I had out was unblockable as long as I cast a historic spell, and he only had 5 life. So it was big enough. So all I had to ask when it starts, well, he became unblockable and I killed him.
And I only had 5 life because I kept giving up life unknowingly when I could have just been sacrificing creatures.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So,
I did one game with my Ales Aria,
Yep.
which says at the beginning of your upkeep, if you have a creature 5 or greater, play +1/+1 each creature. If it's 10 or greater, I think you draw a card or something, and then if it's 20 or greater, you win the game.
yeah.
And I had what's the green one where when anybody casts a spell, it gets a count?
Oh, the high.
Forgotten Ancient.
Oh, forgotten it.
Oh, yeah.
And
It was
at the beginning of your upkeep, you can move those counters.
Yes.
So I moved those counters on another creature to make it big enough to win.
And then I think one of the games was I played the dinosaur deck, and I got to attack, and out of the 7 triggers, I got like 4 giant dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And then because sometimes I think the first time I did that, I basically whiffed.
Yeah, you did it. You got no creatures.
And then the second time I did it, I got one, like insane amount.
No, you got like 3.
Yeah, I got 3 giant creatures.
Well, they weren't giant. They were good, and you were a little like, well, this is better, but I still want better even still.
Yeah, well, greedy.
Yeah. Yeah.
All green players are.
Yeah. But and what I think what was is you only got 2, but one of them brought in another token.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I did it again, and maybe the third time it's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. So, but it was fun.
Yeah. Those were good games. That was fun. Let's talk about, are you going to buy some One Rings? Now, Johnny, I know that we probably won't, but would you consider it? Now that it's banned in Modern, it's dropped like 50%.
Yeah, it's like you can get one for $48 to $50.
Yeah. Like we looked the other day. I don't look today, but
Well, I just thought.
So, Sloan, would you consider it if you had the extra money?
I mean, I think I would, just because they're pretty and stuff like that. But I mean, I do think that if you're going to buy some, do it now, because I do think they'll go back up in price.
Yeah, that's the thing. And the reason they're going to go back in price is because people are going to buy them.
Right.
I don't think they'll go back to 100 though, which is where it got up to.
I think we'll eventually. It also depends if they reprint it.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
They do have the right to reprint that card.
Yeah, so they probably will. When they reprint it, it'll drop. I think it'll get to 75.
I do think it will go back up. I don't know if it's going to go back up to where it was before. I do think it will go up. I don't know by how much. So this is going to be like kind of the whole, I would say, like the Jewel Lotus thing when it first happened, where it came out as expensive, then a bunch of people bought them, and it just kept kind of climbing slowly and slowly, and then it tapered back off. But I think now it's kind of starting to slightly go back up again.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be obviously that drastic, but yeah, I think it will go back.
Well, you have to get through the fact that all the Modern players have 4 copies of this.
Right.
So that's a lot of
It was limited.
No, it's legendary. So it's only 2.
2. So all the Modern players had 2 of these, and that's if they only had 1 deck.
Right.
I mean, they could have multiple decks, in which case they have 4. So we got to eat through all that.
Now, of course, we had an opposite effect where they unbanned Chrome Mox.
So then now they shot through the roof.
And now that's much more. No, it's not.
When I looked, it was like $250.
It was 130 the day it happened, so it is keep climbing if that's what it's at.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, it's crazy. But so we kind of had the give and take there of the One Ring coming down, but Chrome Mox going
You
up.
just have to be careful with the Chrome Mox because you want to see how it plays out there because there's
It's not Chrome Mox. Mox Opal.
Mox Opal. Because we got to see what it does because they may ban it.
Well, I mean, they just unbanned it.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see what it does.
Yeah, I mean,
they make quick bannings and
yeah, they don't unban off, so they may find that it was a mistake, but I'm sure they did some testing and
you can get one. I mean, I see one here for 140 now, moderate played. So they still.
So, but that's still worse for $40 off,
Yeah, and depending on what version you want, what condition it's in.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, you could definitely get more pricey for sure.
So
I've already bought one, and then in our family gift exchange with brothers and sisters on my wife's side, that's one of the things I put in our Elster. So I don't know if they'll get it, but
the One Ring.
the One Ring. Yeah.
Well, if they didn't buy it before, hopefully they got to save that money.
Yeah.
But no, I think I'm going to buy a couple. I have a bunch. That's my problem. I I opened so much Lord of the Rings. I probably have.
And it has a good set.
And I might have close to 8.
Yeah.
Because I opened them and I bought them.
Yeah. And I do think they'll reprint.
Because remember afterwards, I even bought more Lord of the Rings boxes. Remember I found on an Amazon still at a good price and I bought even more.
Yeah.
So that was probably one of the best sets ever released, I think.
It was a really good set.
Yep.
They did a great job with that.
No, I love that set, and I'd like to see them have another Universes Beyond with that level of depth.
I think Spider-Man could be that. Spider-Man could be a lot of fun.
It could be. I have a feeling it's going to be more add-on. You know, I mean, like kind of building on Magic and kind of
Could be,
making
but
more inclusive.
Spider-Man has some interesting choices it can do. I think there's going to be some cool commanders come out of Spider-Man. Because you imagine it's going to be a lot of legendary.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have Spider-Man, you have Miles Morales, Penny Parker, Venom,
All the bad, yeah.
Carnage.
Kingpin, probably.
Oh, that'd be a cool one.
Yeah, that'd be a cool one. So my question is, I wonder what art style they're going to base it on.
Oh,
I hope.
we're going to get into this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, we like Magic too much.
Yes, we now start randomly.
Yeah.
But Jeff, what's triggering you today?
Oh my gosh. All right. So I had to go to like a little conference up in Sarasota on the way. I wanted to stop and grab some medicine in case I got a headache or what have you. Conferences can be. And so I go into CVS and I go up to the thing and I, pay for it all. And then this paper, and I hit print, which was a mistake.
Yes.
Don't hit print. Just do whatever other choices there are other than print. But I had my bag with the medicine in it. This receipt keeps coming and coming and coming and coming and coming. It is a mile long. I had to fold this thing for like 12 minutes. And then I had to get a separate bag to put the receipt into because it didn't fit in the bag with the other thing. And I'm looking at the guy and I'm like, is this for real? This is wild. They give us a whole tree in the bag.
And they have made concerted efforts to make the receipt shorter.
There's no way that's true.
It is 100% true.
No.
I mean,
I used to work for the company.
Yeah, I know.
And they made specific, like they even figured out, we're going to work on the spacing. We're going to save about 25%. And I think somebody else in marketing said, you know what can go in that 25%?
Oh, it's
more text.
It is ridiculous. And I'm waiting there for the thing to stop printing. I'll try to get into this thing. I have to get to over to be late just because this thing keeps printing.
Yeah.
It's wild.
You know,
That was very
so sad.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that doesn't do what you think it does.
Mhm.
And this is something that came up in the game. And it's just kind of a rule of thumb when timestamp and layers and those answers don't help you.
right.
The rule is can't beats can. If something tells you can't do something, something else tells you can, and all things else are equal, you can't.
Right. And so this specific instance was Jeff was going to get a land, and the card that he cast says, go search for a force or whatever. It enters the battlefield tapped. And then he went to get one of the forests that says, if you pay 2 life, it comes in untapped. And so the question was, well, if I paid it 2 life, will it come in untapped because I paid the cost? And the answer is no, because the card that you're getting to go get said card with is forcing it to come in tapped.
And just to be clear, it was less about, do I do this in this circumstance? And would this be a good thing to discuss?
Right.
That some people don't know. Because I obviously...
Right. It wasn't a long discussion.
Yeah.
Jeff was like, well, wait, how are you so sure? And that's when Sloan and I said, well, can't beats can. He goes, oh, yeah, that would be a good thing to talk about.
Yeah. That was the one note we took.
It's okay. Yeah. And those are important because
I didn't think it.
there are things that are interesting to discuss where people might not know it. Although the thing that brought it up was a simple interaction, there are more difficult interactions where that's important, which is why they can't always beats can. It seems to be very important to discuss.
And there's a lot of lesser ones that I looked this up ahead of time, and there's a lot of lesser things for this rule that do trip people up, but they're once you realize this rule, it's much easier. Right. For instance, when there's I can't remember her name, Marilyn of the Morning Song or something like that. She says players skip their draw step. Players can't draw cards. No, this says players can draw cards during their draw step. They tutor for a card.
Okay, so now you have cards that say draw an extra card,
and it can't. They can't.
Right.
Yeah, or it'll say
Hallowed Mine.
Howling Mind.
Howling Mind, the artifact. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch. I mean, anything that says draw a card does nothing.
Right. And that's stuff.
Right. In that instance.
It says draw a card and
So,
stuff, you're fine.
yeah, that's just a general rule of thumb to save on some confusion. Really easy to remember. Can't beats can't.
Yeah, and so the last example of this, which is why I brought it up too, is because my turtle guy then supersedes the can't of that search card.
Right.
So if I were to search with my turtle guy out, untap, his ability states all permanents enter battlefield untapped if he's untapped, all permanents enter battlefield tapped if he is tapped. So with him being untapped, even though the sorcery I just cast that says go get this land, put it into play tapped, he will then supersede that because of the timestamp.
Well, it's not the timestamp because
he-
he is a
like-
greater effect. He is a board state effect. That card is a singular instance effect.
Yeah, so it's
So yours is strong.
the layer technically, not the timestamp. Right.
But
So it will force that to come in untapped because of
if there's a can't and a can,
That equal that on with the same timestamp and say
then they would not come in top.
yeah.
I mean, on top. They'd come in top.
Right, because in that instance, can't beats can.
Yeah.
So that's just a little thing to remember. Let's go on to today's topic. Today is Santa's End Step. It's the day after Christmas, and let's talk about what we hope for in our post-Christmas games, and let's talk about maybe our in-game gifts to each other.
someone may call these New Year's resolutions.
Almost.
Oh no, they're just gifts. They're limited time.
Yeah, no, they're
Not limited time.
Oh, yeah,
Okay. Nothing for a whole year. You get one game.
So I'll talk about gifts first. So Jeff, my gift to you
Yeah.
is that I will not insult you by continuing to forget that no matter what little I see on the board, you have a fistful of value.
I choose not to unpack it.
Yes,
It's open.
freely given.
It's
Yes,
It's a gift
there is
for
no
all.
receipt. You cannot return it.
Right.
no CVS receipt. I mean, there is a CVS receipt.
Oh yeah, it's 100 pounds long.
Yeah.
That's what it's Robinson.
That takes me 10 minutes to get.
That's this gives wrap.
Oh, what an amazing way to do. Just buy stuff at CVS, which now CVS should be happy with us. Buy stuff from CVS and wrap their presents in those stupid receipts.
There you go. Sloan, do you have a gift for?
I do have a gift for Jeff. Jeff, I promise that I will
gifts.
participate in politics.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now, I wanted to kind of give you an idea of the politics that I
Wait, is this a troll gift?
So when you're talking, let's say we're in a game and you're like, you look over at that guy, you're like, man, that is a really strong card, dude. That is for sure a great card.
Can I see it? Yeah.
Yeah, can I see it? And you do that and you're like, oh man, I don't know. We should try to maybe deal with that.
He doesn't even say that. He won't say that out loud.
He won't even say that. But let's say we're in the game now, and now you're looking across the table. You're like, hey, I can deal with this other issue. I'll let you alone, but I can deal with this other issue. You just can't touch me, right? I'll sit there and I'll say, Jeff, that's a great deal. And I'll look to the person you just made that deal with and say, hey, I'll help you kill Jeff because he's about to win. If you want to make a deal with me, to that other person. So
If you do
politics,
that's great. That's a great gift.
yeah, that's a great gift.
You're very good.
And I'll also make a deal with everyone else on the table to kill you first and not touch them.
And I'll still win.
So you think?
That'll be great. We'll let you guys know how that one goes.
Jeff, do you have a gift for one of us? For both of us?
Yes. I will promise John 2 games of no politics to the point where I won't even be nice to the other person. Because the reality is, some of politics is just being nice to people, knowing their name, doing all that stuff. I won't even do that. I won't even really talk to them. I'm just going to play Magic. 2 games. Okay.
I mean,
That's not a cheap gift like your gift.
I don't think that will ever happen. I am excited to see it happen. Now, listen, you can't do this at your house with your kids and say you did it. That doesn't count.
My kids killed me first, so I don't know what you're thinking about. You guys have seen it.
Well, I'm just saying you can't be mean to your kids for 2 games and being Sloan, I did it. You just happen to not be there.
I'm mean to my kids all the time.
Nice.
Great. Awesome.
And then Duncan, for you, I think what'll work really well for you is that I will allow you to dictate the terms of truth in 2 games. Meaning, when you are saying whatever nonsense and you're not a threat Don't worry, all that type of stuff that you do. I'm going to let it be true. I'm even going to support it. 2 games.
2 games. All right.
Yeah.
I got 2.
Now,
Do I get to pick those 2 games?
my gifts are real gifts, though. But
Wait,
I
I gotta say
give
it's 2
songs.
Do I have to look at you and say, Jeff, I'm turning
Yeah,
on.
I'll let you pick the game.
Oh, that's sweet.
Which
That's
basically-
actually a really
Both
good.
of these things guarantee me losses, which as I'm saying it, I feel a little piece of me dying. But if I win through though, that's pretty cool.
Right.
But no, I will, and I will support whatever crazy things you say. Although I'm not sure you should be able to call it, because then you can kind of cheat. Because you'll know I'm doing it.
Well, for instance, what I was thinking of,
And then you
though,
can
is
just
like,
say really
it's like I'm saying something like, you don't need to worry about me. I'm just drawing cards. It's not that bad. And you start to say something, maybe slightly contradictory. I'm like, Jeff, do you really think that? Do you really think maybe this could be the one time?
I know, he's okay.
And
And then I'll be like, no, that's not a problem. If he has a lot of, I'll support you. If he has a lot of cards in his hand, they're not on the table.
That's right.
They're not a problem to play on.
That's right. He's already got a ton of cards in his hand. What's 2 more?
I want to, and then the one that I love the most, and people say, which is, don't say this, it's so stupid. It's not a big deal. He's going to have to discard. Like, I'll say that one, which is completely ridiculous.
And Jeff hates that one. He always points out. Yeah, and have the best 7 cards in his hand.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, that's great.
Now, are you guys going to give me any good gifts? Because your gifts suck.
All right, so let's see. Jeff, what I will give you is, I will admit when I'm full of it, 2 gays.
Okay.
You know what I mean? When you're like, because I've seen you pulling your hair out. Why are you listening to him?
Yeah.
Stop it. I see you getting like that, there will be 2 games where I'll say, you know what, just right. I got a lot of cards.
Yeah.
You want to how did that?
I'm going to draw a bunch of counters and you won't be able to stop me.
Yeah.
Deal. Okay.
All right. Well, so unfortunately, all mine are trolling, so you're going to have to deal with it. But
I don't want another gift for you.
the next one I thought of is I will restrain myself from helping you guys be better players by pointing out your triggers that you guys are constantly missing and not paying attention.
To be clear, now that you're playing a little more difficult decks, you did it more than us most recently in the last 2 games. 100%.
Well, he was playing a new deck. Yeah.
Yeah.
You did
100%
have a
you did.
bunch. And we basically comment, you're usually the one pointing out your triggers, and you're like, I don't know.
And on top of that, you didn't declare to us what your trigger was.
I did declare multiple times.
You have to do it every time. You have to give us the actual choice.
You were making the decision before. You don't making a decision before I was dying.
It's not like we turned to him and gave him a chance to say anything. As soon as he said, I do this, we're like, well, I just take the light.
Right. I didn't even have a chance to get this sentence out of my mouth before I'm taking damage off it.
No, it is true.
And I did say you'll have to declare it no matter what. I said trigger, and I did it every time at the beginning. I declared it every time.
You have a choice. Do you want to pay 3 life or do you want to sacrifice a permanent?
And at the beginning of the game, I said it every time.
You don't say
you guys get in.
Yeah.
And then as the game went on, and I went to have the trigger happen, I'd go to say it, and you were taking the life. I'm like, okay, I guess he's deciding to take life.
That is not a lot. You even admitted that you didn't know you had to say it every time.
No, I didn't. I never admitted I didn't have to say it every time. I openly said it and said.
He's not going to admit he's wrong, but the point is the rule.
If I
actually do remember it like he did. We just started doing it, but no, he didn't stop us.
Even if that's
why would I? You guys are taking
even if that's true, it doesn't matter. He still has to declare it. Even if we say 3 life, he has to say the choice is 3 life or sacrifice. That's the trigger. He has to say it. So
I technically don't have to say anything.
No, you do.
You do. That's your trigger.
Yeah, because if you don't, they don't have to.
Yep. No, and I did. I said trigger. This goes on a stack, Jeff, it targets you. I did technically declare that every time.
You have to say it.
I don't have to read it. There's nothing in the rules that says you have to read the entire trigger every time.
I mean,
technically speaking, there is nothing in the rules that says I have to read the entire trigger every single time.
And I don't know if there is. We'll have to look it up. What I would say is when people are
at the end of the day
looking at every card for you, the gentleman's way to play is to read what their choice is.
And I read it every time at the beginning, and I kept trying to read it. And you guys kept. I'd have to move. Damn it.
We're gonna have to move on.
All right, so I got another gift for Sloan. Sloan, I will continue to allow you to do your chaos stuff where it's win or lose. Usury, or there was another one we played recently that has some sort of.
Well, Endoraptor's just random.
Yeah.
So his trigger is just random. It's just whoever it hits, it hits. It's not my choice.
I'm fine with that. Although I will say it hit me way more than it hit Jeff. But of course, if I had known I could sacrifice permanence, it would.
No, and in that game, you were trying to hurt me, and you kept hurting yourself.
Yes.
Right.
And at one point, I just broke down laughing, like out loud, because it was so hilarious how much. I think you took 11 damage one turn, or 10 damage, and then 11 damage the next turn. Both trying to hurt me.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
Yeah. So, any other gifts? Are we good?
I think it was good.
Okay, so let's talk about what we're looking forward to in games coming up. Post-Christmas game. Jeff, you said you think you're probably getting a One Ring, or possibly.
At least one. I'm getting 2 One Rings, hopefully, because even if they just get me a gift card, I'm fine by.
So you're looking forward to putting those in decks you have, or
Putting those in. Well, I want to build a Galadriel deck. So I might, just depending on what I get for Christmas, I might build a Galadriel.
Now, is this the Galadriel that has to
Light of Valinor. So this is
Right?
No. It's green, white, blue. And you either, whenever you play a creature, you get 3 green pips of mana, or you get a 1/1 counter on all your creatures, or you scry 2 and draw a card.
But each of those things can only happen once
They can only happen once. Yes.
Yeah.
in a turn. So,
Yeah.
Okay. So you're looking forward to your One Ring and putting them in decks and building that.
Yeah.
Sloan, what you got?
I'm hoping that I'm getting some. I put a couple of different boxes on my Christmas list. We're technically recording. Sorry to ruin the illusion, but I did put the Foundations bundle box, this guy, on my list, but the Foundations one. So I'm hoping I grab one of those, and I kind of want to crack it open and see what I get.
I actually got one of those as a work gift. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
So I'm hoping to get that. I did get some Amazon cards from some managers here / owners for a Christmas gift, and so there's a chance, depending on what I do and don't get off my Elfster for Christmas, I might be getting some Magic stuff via that way. I do want to try to round out my Indoraptor deck, and
Because you can buy single cards on Amazon. They typically tend to be slightly more expensive.
yeah.
But although some cards are way more expensive, like you do have to go and
Right.
Yeah, there are some
sometimes
really
you find
expensive.
one that are only slightly more.
Yeah, there are a couple that I found that are like, I actually found them for cheaper on Amazon before. I found
Really?
Yeah, I found a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's happened every once in a while.
Yeah, my Valky that I bought, I found for way cheaper. I think it was $20. I got them for 10.
Okay. That's very easy.
Yeah, so I was really happy with that. But yeah, so I'm hoping to get some, maybe upgrade some card sleeves so they stop making fun of me.
Yeah.
Some of my decks.
So, by the way, Wizard at don't forget the starter foundation set you can get too with your gift card if you wanted. That has packs and singles and
Which might be good because you don't have a particularly giant backlog collection. So might be good.
yeah. But okay, so I'm looking forward to continuing to tweak my Avengers deck.
Yeah.
I want to get it real good, and then I'm gonna proxy it out. I'm at, the ones that are from the Secret Lair.
Yeah, because you want them to be all of.
I want it to be all Avengers. So Aragorn will be Nick Fury, and stuff like that.
And I also would like to, hopefully I can have you over at some point so you can help me build that Galadriel deck too, because you have so many cards. And I've got valuable cards that I'm not using. And I don't like to keep them. I'll
have to just bring all my green, white, and blue.
Yeah. I do have a little side note. I think it would be hysterical if someone built a Samuel L. Jackson deck, and it's just all his different characters that he's ever played. So you have him. I don't know which one would you make the commander?
You know what? I don't.
Samuel L. Jackson character.
Would you make it Samuel L. Jackson, or who's the director? Pulp Fiction.
Oh, the Quentin Tarantino.
So
I have a vampiric tutor
because he's in all.
He's basically Dusk Till Dawn, altered card.
Yeah.
Really?
It's altered with Dusk Till Dawn, and it has George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino on the front, and it has Salma Hayek in the background.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. But what I was going to say about that was Samuel Jackson. There is a proxy of silence, which is him saying, "Say what one more time."
I don't know. That's good. He just has so many different characters he's played. It would just be really funny to build a deck of just every creature's a Samuel L. Jackson.
So I have a card that I want you to make. I don't know what card this would be, but my favorite scene he has ever done and this is not magic, but it's gonna be magic because he's gonna make a card. Is in Deep Blue Sea, and he's in the moon pool.
That's a weird movie.
He's in the moon pool, and he's given the "we got to stop messing around and live" speech that the hero always gives, and he's like, "And we're gonna stop arguing, and we're gonna," and then the shark jumps up out of the moon pool and kills him, just dead. And you didn't think they were gonna kill Samuel L. Jackson in the middle of the hero speech.
And that's one of those movies where you're like, I enjoyed it, even though it's terrible. It's not very well written.
Oh yeah, no, that is
Sort of enjoyable, probably for things like that.
that was one of the most brilliant pieces of directing I've ever seen in my life.
That's so funny.
Because it is, but I don't know what card that would be, but that's got a
Shark Typhoon.
Yeah, that would work.
Shark Typhoon would be good to have that be. Just him standing there and the sharks look right behind him, like jumping out of the water.
Yeah. And the flavor text will be whatever he was saying.
Yeah.
At that very moment.
I feel like there's a movie about what happens with airplanes and stuff. I feel like it's called Executive something, and like Steven Seagal gets killed off right at the beginning, and like I remember being in a movie theater for it. The whole theater cheered that Steven Seagal was dead. It was hilarious
Because it's such a brilliant directing choice. You don't think that.
also people don't like Steven Seagal.
I mean, they went to see the movie. They couldn't hate it that much.
Yeah, I know, but
maybe they already died spending and that's why they're there.
I remember them clapping and thinking that was hilarious.
That was just so good. I was like, oh my word, I can't believe they did that. That was awesome. But yeah, so Jeff, what are you looking forward to? Any other things, any sets coming up that you're looking forward to, or?
So I think sets wise, Spider-Man should be pretty exciting. I think Innistrad is going to be very interesting. There's going to be some very cool art cards.
You just bought a Secret Lair. You're waiting for the card bond, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that one was really awesome.
The Astron's evocation. And
yeah. Because they just look really cool. They look real crisp.
So Jeff and I had a discussion about this.
Okay.
You didn't know about this because he came into my office. But, and he's like, oh, I just bought it. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, they look awesome. I'm like, yeah, but there's only one card in there I'll care about. Now, to be fair, Stealing Resolve is a Kindred card. And of course, he cared about that. He plays Kindred. I don't play Kindred deck. I have a Rat deck. I have a Goblin deck. I never play them.
Right.
So I don't play Kindred. But my closest Kindred is my Legendary Creatures deck, and that card would not apply.
It wouldn't work.
Yeah. So, but he was very excited about it because of how they looked. I was very not excited about it because there's only one card in there that I cared about. But it's just kind of funny how that.
So it's called the fairest draw of them all.
And the price was very good.
Yeah, it was on sale. Which is, I don't think
$25.
it still is $25 instead of $39. That's for the foil. It should be $40.
Yeah.
So it's Estrad's Invocation, Stealer's All, Estrad the Mass, Tuvasa the Sunlight, which I also have enchantment decks.
Yeah.
So I'll probably use most of these cards, but if you guys go look at them, they are sharp.
Yeah, they are.
If you're on the website, can you see if the Assassin's Creed Secret Lair is on sale?
Is there an Assassin's Creed Secret Lair? I don't think that's still out.
Yeah, no, it's not out anymore.
It's on.
There's some really...
Yeah, they turn them off after a while.
Yeah.
And then they'll sell the extras at like con.
And then there's one of these here that's made out of the cartoons you like to watch.
I know what you're talking about.
Well, the anime.
Yeah.
I just won't acknowledge that anymore. So, we forgot to actually, when me and Jeff did a couple episodes for ourselves, there's something that we brought up about the announcements for the sets next year that we never got your opinion on. So, my big thing was, I think that next year's sets, based off of what they're talking about, are going to be very vehicle based. Like, they're actually going to do a lot of vehicles and stuff.
Well, Aether Drift 100%.
Right. So, but I was saying, like, because this year
said about spaceships and stuff.
Right. Because this year, if you kind of think back, which I think we're going to do looking at the year, our next episode, but just to touch on it real quick, the theme was very tribal themed, right?
Yeah.
Like, almost every set had like this running theme of
How are they going to do vehicles in Spider-Man?
so
There are some, but not very many.
you got Goblin's Glider, you got the Spidey Cycle.
Yeah, but it's not very many.
Well, but I'm not saying they're going to do it every set, but I'm just saying that I think the overall theme for next year, you're going to see a lot of vehicles throughout all of next year. I think that was like my big thing.
Yeah.
So I hope they do
I
that.
think that's very possible. We don't know for sure, right?
Right.
I think it's possible. It sounds feasible. We know
Good a guess as any.
Aether Drift is going to be a ton of vehicles.
Yeah. So I'm very excited though, because hopefully they actually do more vehicles.
And there's a space one too, which will have vehicles.
Yeah. And I think the big thing would be if they create vehicles that are more than just crew vehicles, but like the white blue guy that what's his face built, Lizard built. What's his name? Shintai. Where he has Go Shintai, where he has another ability on him that's not reliant on him being crewed.
Right.
I think if they do a lot of stuff like that, that would be super cool. And that would make vehicles like really...
Yeah, him and Imposter Mech were my 2 favorite vehicles.
Yeah. Because they do...
Well, it's easy to pick a favorite vehicle.
Yeah.
Because
there's some really good ones, too. There's the one from Doctor Who that it's a 7/1 with trample, and when it deals damage to a player, and it has flying, I think, and when it deals damage to a player, you draw as many cards.
I'm not saying there aren't some good vehicles. I'm just saying there's partners out there that
that better be a vehicle.
Which one?
From Doctor Who, Tartarus?
Yeah. No, it's Hardest is a artifact. I don't think it's... Oh, no, it is a vehicle. It is a vehicle.
Okay, I was about to say, that's not a vehicle. They made it. Which I've never seen for.
Because it matters if you have Time Lords. So unless you're playing Doctor Who cards...
well...
Yeah. I mean, it does make sense. Nobody else can use the target.
See, and I will... okay, we'll talk about it next episode. I'm about to go on a rant about the sets from this.
Did you guys have anything else you're looking forward to for games coming out?
I mean, the biggest thing that I'm excited for next year is I gotta say, I think it's going to be the Spider-Man set. I think if they do that right, that'd be so dope.
Spider-Man and the space one will be good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the space one I'm really excited about because I can't really remember another time.
We're getting into the next year stuff, though.
We said what we're excited about.
Yeah, but for games coming up, like post-Christmas games,
Then we're going to play?
Yeah.
I'm excited about playing. And, I mean...
Are you going to play again? Are we going to have the 3 times with...
I mean, maybe we can, because I don't know. I'm not doing all that much on the day before, like Christmas Eve or the day before that. So,
well, I got to go get a tattoo that day. So,
aren't you working the day before that? Or are you off this week?
I'm working.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, you said the day before.
Play is after work.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I meant the day before.
I think I'm going to be pretty busy leading up to Christmas.
Oh.
Well, then after that, I mean, New Year's Day,
don't forget, it's on Wednesday.
Why don't we do a gaming day New Year's? Because I don't want to go to some...
And we'll have to check with our wives in the fans, but yeah. I mean, I'm down for trying that.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's move on. Sloan, you got any pro tips from a non-pro?
Yeah, so I just want to talk about a mechanic.
Which one? Is it Mike and Mechanic?
No.
Is it a car mechanic?
No. It's
plane mechanic?
It is a mechanic from this year, and I literally picked it because it's on theme. It's the gift a card mechanic.
Oh, gift the card.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a weird mechanic.
So I was thinking about this on the way over here, and I was like, man, kind of going back to when we had the rant about why they're like creating all these new mechanics and adding all these new things in, and thinking about it, this is just kicker. Like they could have called this kicker.
Yeah.
And we've actually had this discussion. Right. And so, but I want to bring this up because this is a mechanic that kind of, it came into existence with Bloomburrow and then literally just disappeared. Like I don't think I've seen another set that's done this yet. And probably because they're saving it for Bloomburrow would be my guess. But just to kind of explain what it is it's called the gift mechanic, and the mechanic essentially says gift, and then it tells you what you're going to gift. So the card that I pulled up, Wear Down, it's 100 green sorcery, gift a card. You may promise an opponent a gift as you cast this spell. If you do, they draw a card before its other effects. So this one,
gift a card means gift a card. There's gift a fish means they get a tap.
A 1/1 fish.
I think it's tap though.
I don't think it's tap.
Gift a fish means you run. Between your feet going
the salmon. Do the salmon. Yeah. So, but the mechanic. So this card says destroy target artifact or enchantment. If the gift was promised, instead destroy 2 artifacts and or enchantments. So for 1 card that I'm giving you, I'm gonna get it to blow up 2 things instead.
Yeah. And if there's 2 things you gotta get rid of, that's
which is nice because you have a choice.
Because the other thing is,
gift a fish, I will never not give you a 1/1.
Yeah, but here's the other thing too that's cool about this. You can gift any opponent that card. So the person that you're blowing their stuff up, you don't have to gift them the card. You can gift the other guy the card and blow up that person's.
What I like more about it is it says you have to promise them the card. It doesn't say you have to give it to them.
It technically does. The next sentence does.
This is probably. I probably
if you do, they draw a card. It says in the next sentence. Reading's OP.
Well, I break my promise.
That's true.
Yeah.
You promise to be a good friend. But yeah, no. So I thought
That is very on theme, and it actually reminds me of something I want to bring up. So I have a new. I'm not going to call it obsession, but I have a new thing I'm collecting.
It's likely an obsession.
No, it's not because it's limited an obsession.
We'll let them join and decide.
They make holiday cards for Magic the Gathering.
Oh yeah, he told me this.
Yeah, and they're like an uncard, like they're not legal, and they're kind of goofy.
They give it out to all the
employees. That's the only way,
right?
Huh?
They only give one.
They only give them one, so they're not that prevalent.
They're rare.
But those employees will sell them, and so you can get them. I got the last 3 years so far, and I'll keep working backwards. But every year I'm going to get the card.
Okay.
I think that'll be really fun. Because the one for this year I didn't see on sale yet, so I'm hoping that I'll see it post-Christmas or something.
Yeah.
Because they already announced what it was. I just think it's a fun little thing and see, it would look cool in an album.
Yeah. So what part of it is not an obsession if you're collecting this year and every year and you're going back?
Because there's only like 20-something in existence.
But are you going to collect all 20?
Yeah.
How is that not an obsession?
I mean, I'm not going to be I don't care if I pay $200, I'm going to do it. Like,
okay, that's true. You're not going to...
Yeah, I would say that an obsession, you do things that are illogical sometimes for an obsession. So I would say, like, if you're not going to be illogical about it, it's just a hobby at that point.
Yeah.
What, like, you playing Magic's an obsession.
Oh, like, for sure. I can my wife
collecting that one set of cards, you're fine.
Buying unnecessary extras for his hobbies is also an obsession.
Listen, don't say that. We need him to come buying that stuff for us.
It's ridiculous.
I was actually, like, looking. I'm like, when I got those Amazon gift cards from work, I'm like, I wonder if there's a new card case.
I don't know what to do here.
Oh man, you need Jesus.
And I would say you could buy cards instead of that, but you already also buy cards.
Yeah, it's like him. Yeah, saying that to him is like saying, "What do you mean I can buy more?"
Yeah,
is that what you mean?
So anyway, that's just a new thing, and it's on theme for this. I did want to bring it up. Some people may not know it exists, but if you look them up, you can find them on that line. MTG holiday cards, and you can find them on TCG Player once you know the name and stuff. And I think you can even look for if you do advanced search. I'm sure you can Google. Yeah. But so that's about all the time we have for today. We want to thank you guys for joining us. I want to thank you guys for a great holiday season. I've had a lot of fun for the games. Check us out at commanderspod.com. You can email us at cast@commanderspod.com. Head to our Patreon, patreon.com/commanderspod. And don't forget, oh, you know what? It's the holiday season. We're not killing anybody. Well, we'll do the yours slogan. We'll do yours. Hey, just be better.
Yeah.
Commander's Pod, where the stories unfold, with heroes and villains, new and old. Duncan, Jeff, and Sloan guide the way in the world of EDH we play. So tune in, friends, let's grow and grow. In the Commander's Pod, the love will show. From our decks to yours, we share the spark in this world of magic. We'll leave a mark.